Hello. Okay, I'm jumping on because there is a viral post all over Facebook about Sue Murray's cat named Ernie. It turns out that Sue Murray's cat, Ernie, became very ill several weeks after she started using essential oils that she bought on Amazon. So I wanted to talk about this. As a certified aromatherapist, I can give you a little bit of my information on that and some of the perspectives that were shared with me from a veterinarian, okay? Because we all care about our pets. Cats are not the only ones who are uniquely exposed to things like essential oils, so let's find out what's safe, right? So first I want to talk about Ernie the cat. So in Sue Murray's post, she talked about how she bought her oils on Amazon. It's pretty common for a lot of people to buy things on Amazon. I buy a lot of things on Amazon, but I do not recommend buying holistic health supplies from Amazon. There are a few reasons for this, but the biggest one is because the essential oils themselves can be uncapped, filled with something else that dilutes it, or it could be a chemical perfume that is much cheaper, and then recapped with a fresh new lid and mailed out to you like nothing ever happened. You wouldn't even know that something was tampered because the lid itself is still resealed. Okay, so we don't trust essential oils from Amazon. We also don't trust essential oils that you can usually find in grocery stores, drugstores, any of your local markets. I think I saw at one point Best Buy was selling them. Okay, these are places that specialize in food. A drugstore specializes in drugs, right? An electronic place specializes in electronics. So I wouldn't be going and buying my essential oils there. Let's not forget that essential oils are a holistic health tool. We use them for their health benefits, okay? It just happens that they smell amazing. And sometimes people like to create a natural perfume, but the intention of using essential oils is not to fill our homes with scent, but to address specific things. We usually use them with purpose. So to give you an example, my family, some of us wake up like bears. We're tired and we're slow to move in the morning and stuff. So we like to diffuse oils to kind of help uplift our moods, to help us get a little more energized and moving and stuff. That would be a purpose. It just happens that the oils that we love to use for this also smell amazing, okay? Oftentimes I will be diffusing things to help with seasonal threats, to help kill things off in the air. So when we use essential oils, it's with purpose, okay? And this is a huge mistake that a lot of people make, and this is part of the reason that essential oils are so misunderstood. A lot of times people believe that essential oils can be put into the same category as candles. I would argue that they most definitely would not. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of health studies that talk about the benefits of using essential oils to address almost every health condition out there, if not every health condition out there. I'm not an aromatherapist for candles and scents. I'm an aromatherapist who studied chemistry, who studied the way that the body works, anatomy, physiology. We've used how chemicals work within the body to address health concerns. We look at things like evolutionary medicine. A lot of the studying and the developing and researching that I'm doing is not about how to make my house smell pretty, how to make things smell good. It's very much about what will these chemicals do within the body. Okay, so it's very important for people to kind of understand that. But with all of that in mind, it's also important to understand that where we source our oils is so important. So where we want to actually buy our oils is usually from the company directly, okay? Now, if you're going through a rep for a company, usually it's still direct from the company in that sense, okay? The company should be providing GCMS reports, and they should be by batch, and they should be readily available to you. Those GCMS reports provide us with third-party testing. So what this does is it lets us know if something was added to the batch, right? The perfume industry is really advanced, so they could add a synthetic in there. So a really advanced third-party lab will be able to tell if something synthetic was added, right? So even then, some of the GCMS reports would have to be very specific. And this is expensive testing to do, okay? Essential oils are also expensive to source. Some of the oils come from places like Somaliland. They only grow in the wild. So frankincense, for example, would be the oil I'm talking about. Some oils like spikenard come from the root of a plant, and they have to be 10% has to be replanted, or we risk endangering the plant. It's actually an endangered plant. So how we harvest it and cultivate it is really important. And many of the oils can't be cultivated by people. They have to grow naturally in their natural habitats, okay? So essential oils, real essential oils, will cost a lot of money. Well, not a lot, but it will cost more than, you shouldn't be spending $10 on frankincense, okay? If you're spending $10 on frankincense, you're not buying frankincense. Just let's be honest here. If you're spending $5 on a trio of oils, you're not buying essential oils. You're buying a chemical filler, okay? So let's go back and talk about the cat, okay? So the cat was considered lethargic, weak, drooling, and that can happen from bad food, chemical cleaners. It can happen from water from the Christmas tree. There are a lot of things that could contribute to those types of symptoms in a cat. This particular owner took the cat to the vet, which is amazing. That's what you should do when your animal is having problems. Take them to the vet, right? Go take them to the specialist. Now, normally, like the vet gave the cat vitamins and antibiotics. Now, normally, if from what I understand about anatomy and physiology, and animals aren't that far off from people, and most of the vets might agree with me on this, is that if our bodies are flooded with some kind of toxic exposure, we want to dilute what was in there. So we want to drink lots of waters and stuff, right? But adding something in like an antibiotic is designed to kill some type of pathogen or something, right? Or to support pain problems. I don't quite understand why the antibiotic would be prescribed in this case. So perhaps the vet saw more, maybe maybe Sue Murray's original post was didn't give all the details of what was happening with the cat. I can't be clear on why that would be. Vitamins wouldn't be that far off, but I would say if your animal is exposed to something toxic, you want to give them lots of water. You want to ventilate the system, so open all your windows and turn off any diffusers that are going and get rid of all of the things that are potentially culprits, right? Let's help our animals out. I can't see, it doesn't make sense to me that essential oils would be the problem several weeks later. Perhaps a condition developed over several weeks, but usually when we're intolerant or exposed to something that's not good for our health, we have a fairly immediate reaction. It's not always the case, but it just seems less likely to be the case for long term. Mind you, this cat was senior, so I don't know if that plays into it, right? Because I think they said the cat was like 16 years old. So, but yes, so I would say when you're using essential oils with cats, there are a few things to bear in mind. I'm just going to look on my computer here because I have an article pulled up that tells you some of the specific things. So first off, when you're exposing your cat to essential oils, or even any animal, any small animal, I have a small dog, I have to be very aware of what we're using around the dog. I have to be aware that if I put an oil on and then I go pet my dog and I'm exposing her to something topically, will that affect my animal? So I'm very in tune with this. Although I don't have a cat specifically, I care very much about animals too. So nothing I'm saying within my video is meant to pick apart or say anything negative about this woman's experience. I'm super happy that her cat is doing better now, and that they were able to resolve the issues and probably potentially find the culprits for it. I'm just making a video because I want people to understand that you don't have to use essential oils with fear that you might be potentially killing your small animals. There's a way to use them effectively and receive all the benefits that you intend to use them for, okay? So what we would normally look for in cats, and this is from a vet, okay, is you would look for runny eyes, panting, muscle tremors, and drooling would be a few. So I would say if your cat was acting out of character and demonstrated any of these, then potentially they could be reacting to something, okay? Things that cats are usually typically do react to, so something to bear in mind. Cats lack an enzyme within their liver to actually metabolize certain chemical constituents, okay? So, and those chemical constituents can be found in specific essential oils, but they're also found in things like certain plants, right? Like a poinsettia would be quite toxic to cats if they eat it, but we can put them on the table and the cats aren't dying because they're exposed to aromatically the poinsettias, right? So it's something to bear in mind. And cats are pretty smart, so unless you have them trapped in a room where you're diffusing a toxic oil, generally they'll get up and leave if they don't like what's happening there. And most animals are the same, dogs too. I have seen my dog come kind of gravitate towards whatever the scent was, and then in other cases, leave. So just pay attention to what's happening with your animals. Other things that affect the liver toxicity in animals because they can't break them down, well, cats specifically we're talking about, is Tylenol, chocolate, caffeine, lead, zinc, many types of pesticides. So a lot of these chemical things can affect a cat, right? When we're looking at oils can still be used with animals and sometimes even on the animals. You would need to consult with a vet about that. I am not certified and trained in animals, so I can't give you that advice. So I would say you would need to get in touch with somebody who is. It is part of my future plan to learn more about animals and aromatherapy, but I'm not there yet. So you can take everything that I say as information, but if you want an expert's opinion on it, please find the expert that you feel best consulting with, okay? But when we look at animals, especially cats, because they're quite small, and if we're looking at small dogs, we would actually use it topically like we would for infants, right? So when we're looking at babies, we generally dilute less than 0.5%, okay? So if you're not sure how much that is, that's like 1 drop in a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of actual carrier oil, right? Or 3 sometimes even. So the oils specifically that are a good idea to stay away from are oils that are high in phenols and eugenols, okay? So oils that are high in those might be basil, birch, cinnamon, clove, fennel, melaleuca, oregano, peppermint, thyme, and wintergreen, to name a few, and then as well as oils that are high in D-limonene, which would basically be all the citrus oils, okay? So I suggest that you stay away from using those oils topically on those animals, and if you choose to diffuse something that has, let's say, a citrus in it, just make sure that the cat is able to leave the room, that it's in a big, wide, open space, and just be aware if there are problems with the animal. Pay attention to what's happening with them, okay? So that's all I've got for you today. So please don't panic. Essential oils are actually super beneficial for us in a health way. In fact, they're much more beneficial than many of the other things that we are exposing our bodies to in this lifetime. So don't fret. Just get the information, look it up, ask the question. I'll be happy to answer what I know. I'll just be posting links to other professionals in this area. But generally in my video, I think I recapped most of what you would be reading anyways, okay? All right, I hope that helps, and I truly hope that Ernie the cat fully recovers and is doing well after this, okay? Thanks, guys. Take care.